that was pretty crappy, to be 18 years old and to be immobilized a lot of the time, and to have like such extreme pain at such a young age and in a very acute way, right? I mean, it was literally one moment I was perfectly healthy, and then one moment later, my whole life had shifted, and in such a dramatic way, to the extent that muscles are whittling away, right? You start developing different allergies because you can't move as well. Your nervous system's going haywire. You get shooting pains. You like can't sleep because of the shooting pains and the postural things that happen when you hurt your back to that extent. Threats to need fusion in your spine, for people to put metal brackets on your spine on either side of your vertebrae. And then back then, the technology is every 10 years, you'd have to fuse another level. So they're like, by 58, you'll have a fully bracketed spine. I was like, whoa, like this is a totally different life than I was imagining for myself. So that was pretty tough at the time. I still was like that hopeful character though. And at this point, I was working with the speaker. So, I learned a lot of techniques that kind of stabilized my situation, but I would just have to deal with a lot of pain. Occasionally, there would be days where I just could not get up. I could not move. I learned a bunch of different techniques, like I said, that would just kind of maintenance it. But I felt not so bright about those techniques being in the future. But I had this deeper sense of knowing that I would figure it out. I was very committed to discovering a solution. And I tried a lot of things: Eastern medicine, Western medicine, all the different techniques. I got certified in a lot of different things. I got certified as a trainer, nutritionist, corrective exercise specialist, performance enhancement specialist, just one thing after another. I mean, I really took the gamut that I could find and started training. It was interesting because in that process of learning all that stuff, I started helping other people who had much less severe injuries through the whole age group, right? Up to 60, 65, 70-year-old people, all the way down to like teenagers who had developed minor injuries, whether it was like an ACL tear, an ankle sprain, even broken bones, right? Pretty much everything I could find was simpler than what I was dealing with. So all the stuff I had learned was really valuable for them. But then one day I ended up finding this technique, and I was learning how to do it to other people. And I woke up the next day and this was a complete accident. My pain was gone, totally gone the next day. And even the instructor was like totally clueless on how that could have happened so quickly. And as I dug down that rabbit hole and I spent years studying these techniques that I had learned, I ended up discovering that there was a lot of stuff happening that even the people that had put this technique together, were unaware of. So it's almost like if you learn the English language and then sort of fell in love with cursive and not print, and then you just kind of went down that rabbit hole far enough to like, where was cursive invented? And that's kind of what I did with this physical exercise thing. And as I got far enough in that, I started to ask myself, could people heal themselves with the same stuff that I'm learning to heal others? And the answer was yes. And then the question was, how fast could that happen? Could someone's symptoms resolve in 3 weeks? Could it resolve in 1 week? Could it resolve in a day? Could it resolve in an hour, in 20 minutes? And now I've got people on camera in 10, 20 minutes, dozens of people solving their own symptoms in 10 or 20 minutes without me laying a finger on them, literally just teaching them how this kind of mystical system inside your body works, which is really biomechanically based. It's very Western medicine. And as I learned about more of the Eastern philosophies, I started to bring in the ideas of belief and the ideas of like these perspectives on life and perspectives on your body. Because if someone comes to you and they've got some massive injury or illness or lawsuit or whatever it is, and this is a very famous quote, right? Whatever you believe to be true is real. If they don't think it's possible, it could still happen, but it's far less likely. If someone comes in with all the belief in the world to me, with anything going on, I'm like, we got this. We got this, because we've got enough of the Western stuff behind us that from the Eastern perspective, as long as you believe it to be true and you can visualize that healing and you can really want it and you desire it, not just desire maybe, but know that it's possible. Because there's a big difference between desiring something, like I want a G-Wagon, and knowing something, like I'm meant to be something or do something. And you feel it in your bones, you're going to be just fine.